Hey, welcome back to the 5-Minute Strategist. This week, I found myself in a situation that you have probably found yourself in this week or last week, or maybe in this coming week. I had a decision to make about my business that had me really divided. My head said one thing very clearly, my heart said another thing very clearly. And I know that it's super popular to be like, well, if it's not a heck yeah, it's a heck no. And I have spouted that myself. But this wasn't about a gut feeling that it was the wrong decision, but more what I wanted to do versus what I knew was the right move for my business were at odds with each other. And I was trying to find a way to make the best decision that I could. And this is a scenario that's familiar to all of us small business owners. We find ourselves in this situation with varying degrees of impact on a regular basis in our business. So how do we move forward? And so I thought it might be helpful for me to walk you through what I did so that the next time you find yourself in that situation, you've got a couple of things that you can check in on. So the first thing I did without even realizing that I was doing it. So I messaged one of my friends. I said, hey, I need to talk to you. We jumped on a call and I said to her, I'm in a situation. And I just want to explain the situation to you as objectively as I can. And so I began to explain the situation to her, removing any emotion from it, almost like I was recounting something that had happened factually. This kind of objectivity is so crucial when you are trying to make a decision. This is what allows you to step back and do some of that analysis work. This is what gets you the perspective that you need when you're in a complex situation. This ability to step back and be objective allows you to do the risk versus reward type of analysis that we've talked about a lot. Because what happens is we're very enthusiastic about the idea, we're super excited about all the rewards, and we can forget about the risk. Introducing some of that objectivity is going to help you to spot where there could be challenges. So I walked her through the entire situation completely objectively. I'm going to come back to her. There's a second friend who I've been working with a lot over the last month or so to really understand the assumptions that are underlying my actions. And this is another way for you to add some objectivity. We don't even realize how many shortcuts our brains are making, how many assumptions we're making about things when we're in decision-making mode. So I've been working with this friend to really point out to me where in the previous week I've made a decision or taken action or had a thought process that was based on something that was potentially not factually true, to challenge me to examine why I made that decision that way, why I took that action. And this is something that is vital when you're making a decision. Your ability to understand what you bring into that equation, what preconceived notion you have about it, what your past experience is trying to tell you about it, and whether or not that's actually relevant to what you're doing at the moment. So being able to see what those assumptions are and then question them gives you a whole new insight into the decision. And this isn't an easy thing. This isn't like, oh, we're going to flick on a light switch and now you'll never make an assumption again. No, completely not. Your brain has to make shortcuts and assumptions in order for it to just survive a day in your life. But your ability to take a decision that you're making and question each element of your decision-making process to understand whether you've made an assumption or whether you have evidence to back up that piece of the decision is crucial. The more you can back up the parts of your decision with data, the easier it is for you to make that decision. It's very hard to argue with data. When you see a metric or a trend or a piece of financial analysis that tells you what is so clearly the answer, it's very difficult for you to choose something else. Unless you are in one of those deep, like this is crossing a personal boundary, this is against my values, it's really hard to argue with data about what the best decision is for your business. So gathering all the data that you can to help you make the decision and to help you question your assumptions should be one of the first things you look to in making a decision. And then, if you still need it, take the opportunity to gather other people's perspectives on the situation. So like me, where I had objectively walked my friend through the situation, I then asked for her input into that decision. What would she do in my situation? What questions did she have about it? I wasn't asking her to validate my already pre-made decision, but instead asking her to show me how she saw the situation so that I could see challenges that maybe I had missed or opportunities that I had missed. But here's what's key about seeking that extra input. At the end of the day, you have to view their opinions and their suggestions as another data point. They can't make the decision for you. You still need to be comfortable that you are making the right decision for you, because that's what's going to allow you to take confident action. And when you take confident action, that's when you can get feedback about what's working, what's not working, adapt to it, make the next decision, and try again. This is the process that has allowed me to end the week knowing that I have a clear decision. And there are lots of decision models and systems and processes that we can use to make decisions. But if you can look at the situation objectively, gather some data, question your assumptions, and gather any external advice or perspectives that you might need, this can make you a better decision maker right now from the next decision you make in your business. So when you want to make a decision, how do you balance the passion and the excitement with an objective analysis that makes sure it's the right strategic move for your business?